All right, what's up, guys? Happy New Year's. So, today I just kind of want to go over a little bit on how to become more successful at trading and how trading sometimes is like a business. And in order to be really successful, you have to have some of the basic essentials. And some of them are, when you're starting out, you want to have a business plan, you want to keep track of your revenue and your losses. And one of the other slides is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So you got to kind of remember that you got to take your time and slowly approach this. You got to identify your problems, find solutions, and then I'll post some recommendations and what you guys can do to become more successful. So I kind of would just cover this because I noticed yesterday we had some people that were having issues, and a lot of people were having a problem. Like, we had people reach out to us last year, the last couple of weeks, saying they were having a hard time just being consistent and just being able to generate profit from trading. And I think one of the biggest issue is a lot of people don't realize that when you're trading, it's not just like a job. It's not just like a secondary thing. When you, like, especially a lot of you guys, when you want to become successful at trading, you have to really treat it like it's more than a job. It's more than just a hobby. It's like it's your business, because you're looking to make money from it and you're looking to generate income from it, right? Wait, you guys can't hear me? Testing. Damn, I'm getting trolled, man. That's messed up. So one of the first thing about starting a business is having the business plan, right? You have to define what your goal is. What are you looking to achieve with trading? Is this going to be your side hustle? Is this going to be your main hustle? Or is it just feeding your gambling itch, right? And you have to kind of ask yourself that. You have to sit there and you have to ask yourself, what are you trying to achieve with that? And which one of these are you going to try to do, right? And after you decide that, you need to decide how much time and effort are you going to put into it, and how much do you need to survive. So these are just some basic goals and basic questions that you should ask yourself, and to figure out what you want to do and achieve with this business. Because some of us are perfectly fine doing this as a side business, and some of us are trying to do this as our main hustle. And then there are people that are just doing this because they got nothing better to do, and we just want to feed their gambling itches, right? So you got to figure that out. And after you figure that out, you have to figure out your objectives, how much time you want to spend, right? So if you really want to be successful at this, if this is what you want to do and you want to be doing it well, you should spend some time every weekend preparing. So you should make some objectives for your business. For me, I spend about 5 hours every Sunday preparing for the week ahead. And one of my other objectives is trying to make $5,000 a month. That's how much I'm trying to shoot for on a monthly basis. I don't really have a daily goal, because when you have daily goals, sometimes it puts a lot of pressure on yourself, and it's very, very hard to catch up once you start missing that daily goal. So number 3 of your business plan is you should have a strategy. How will you achieve it, and what is going to be your edge in this, to beating the market, beating the casino, right? Do you have a system that you're using? Do you have a set of indicators of how you're, that's going to help you in beating the market? Or are you following a really good player or mentor that is able to teach you the edge and give you the edge? So it doesn't necessarily always have to be a system. It doesn't necessarily always be a set of indicators. It could just be understanding and following the right analyst that will work out for you and help you to find the edge in the market, right? So one of the other most important thing about being successful is being able to keep track of your revenue and your losses. So as with any business, every problem, any new business, every problem will be a learning experience. But in order to identify your problems quickly and solve them, you have to keep track of all your trades and your transactions, and some of the thing I would recommend you guys to do is that you should, keep track of when you're entering the trade, why you're entering the trade, right? And also the ticker that you're playing. So you ideally want to think of this like a product or service. You want to know, which product or services they're doing good and which aren't. So the reason behind that is because for some of you guys, you might be finding that every time you're getting into like a Tesla trade, you have a really high chances of losing that trade. So if that's a pattern that you identify, then maybe you shouldn't be playing that trade anymore, right? Or you could potentially identify that, oh, you could potentially identify that, oh, I tend to lose money a lot when I'm playing puts, or I tend to lose money a lot when I'm playing like weekly options. So things like that, identify those problems, and you'll be able to find out how you can, and make small changes, and you might be able to, completely turn your trading goal around. Because there are a lot of people that just trade weeklies. There are a lot of people that are just addicted to trading Tesla or Shopify, whatever that may be. If that's a problem for you, change it. Make small changes and adjust that. So we'll also have a link here, and you can use this link to get your free trading journal from X-Trays. You can edit this yourself as well. All you got to do is go here, go to Files, and then you click Make a Copy, and you can set up, your own log. So you can write, how much your account balance is here. You can play around with this. You can, change your account balance to 5,000. Once you make a copy over here and you make it your own, you'll own this file and you can do whatever you want with it. And you can change this percentage here on max position size, telling you how much you should risk. And you can write down potentially some strategies for yourself that you should ideally follow, and remind yourself on a daily basis when you're reading this, so this way you know what you should do. So this session, I'm not going to try to make it too long because I don't want to get, I don't want to waste everybody's time. I don't want to make it too boring. So I'm going to keep it a pretty short session and just go over some of the basic stuff. The fifth slide is going to talk a little bit about how it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So Kevin, which is the owner of the room, he mentioned last year after the GME hype, the GameStop run, he said the true winners are the ones who can see this as a marathon and not a sprint. One bad week won't determine your career unless you allow it to. Sit on hand when necessary. A $38 per month chat room membership won't save you from a bad market if you're not properly adjusting and adapting. So those are key words, because if you're getting wrecked just from a bad day like today or a bad week, that means you're not properly planning for this. You're not properly adjusting. You're not properly risk managing, and you're just throwing a dart at the wall, and just hoping to succeed. So if you really want to succeed, you kind of have to take it easy. Know that it's gonna take a while, and it's gonna be a learning process, and you'll have to continue to learn. So just like any business, you need to understand that it may take a while to reach true profitability. So as soon as you come to terms with that it's going to take you a while to become profitable, if you want to be good and you want to be consistent at it, it's going to take you a while. So you need to consistently identify problems, improve your business to generate more profits. In this case, you need to keep learning, finding your edge in the market that works for you. Because if you don't have an edge in the market, what's gonna set you aside from you and some random bozo that's just walking into the casino, right? So in order to find your edge, you have to test out different concepts. There's so many different trading strategies and different ways, different patterns. Ideally, you want to learn most of them, but you want to take time learning them. So some of the patterns or strategies are breakout plays. When a stock is breaking out, you could potentially enter on the breakout looking for it to continue to go further. Or you can trade, pullback setups where you're only buying on like the dips. Like you ideally want to buy a breakout that just come back down, or ranges. So I'll show you some example of breakouts and pullbacks. So right now we're looking at gold futures, and this is a pullback right here, pulling back to support. So that's an easy entry. So if you're just playing pullbacks, you're waiting for the pullback to support, pullback to support, pullback to support, and you're playing the bounce from here to here. If you're playing breakouts, you're looking for this entry here. You're looking for this entry from when it breaks over here, or when it breaks over here, you're looking for a new high. And then ranges are just like, kind of like SPY, where SPY is trading, in this like this zone right here. This is possibly a range play here, 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 and here where it invalidated, right? So not all play is going to be 100% successful. There's always going to be losses, but you have to identify them and properly risk manage for that. So there's also, short squeezes, bottom fishing, penny stocks, option strategies. There's so many more, but the key is you want to master one setup or concept at a time before you move on. If you don't know what to master first, read them all, see which one sounds good, see which one is easy for you to comprehend, and take some time to decide, by paper trading some of these strategies, see which one works best for you, right? So kind of think of this like sports or martial arts. In order to be good, at like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai or Jeet Kune Do, you need years of practice, and after you practice and master each art, then you can do mixed martial arts, right? And then after you do, after you achieve and you learn multiple martial arts, you can become a UFC fighter. You don't even need to train anymore. So just remember that in order to become good at something or successful at something, you also need to take time to master the concepts. And I think that's one of the problems a lot of people have too, is that they don't take enough time to properly master all these different type of concepts, whether it's breakout, pullbacks, or just basic support and resistance. One of the easiest technical analysis to learn and understand is just the basic support and resistance, and how volume and RSI drives the stock sometimes, or shows you where the stock can indicate where it's going. So the next slide is identifying problems. As we come to term that trading is more than a long-term business, it's more of a long-term business, you need to identify problems within your business model and how to improve it. So some of the common issues that I know a lot of people have are usually poor risk management. They're going all in on one trade, or sometimes people are already in the hole, and they just want to get out of this trading loss hole, right? They just want to recoup all the trading losses, and they're like extremely bullish on one ticker. Once they see that one ticker alerted, they're like, you know what, I'm going all in. Apple never goes down. Going all in this trade, and then it doesn't go your way. And what happens? You just end up digging the hole further, right? Or the other issue is, sometimes people get into a trade, and the trade is so great. It's going so well. It's going 100%, 200%. But they have no clue when to sell, because last time they sold at 100%, or last time they sold at 20%, the ticker ran to 200%. And then the other time they didn't sell, the ticker went back down to 0. So it's a lot of these common issues where you gotta realize this is a problem, and you need to get better at that risk management. Some of the other issues that I've heard people have are locations and environments. If you're trading, if you're running your business, you should make sure you're not in a noisy environment, or if you have bad internet service, or if you're trading with a 12-inch laptop, that's no bueno. Gotta move away from that, and try to improve their environment. Another issue I hear a lot is just stress and emotions. People that are juggling multiple things at once, having issues with spouses or bosses or problem at work. And then there are just some people saying, they don't understand technical analysis, or that people just think technical analysis is witchcraft, and they might also better follow astrology. But at the end of the day, if you understand technical analysis, you'll know that those astrology charts are just is just market fundamentals, because a lot of the astrology dates that kind of aligns in the middle of the month, and those are usually when monthly options expire. So usually when monthly options expire around the 21st or the 18th, or whatever those dates are, they usually have a big move within the market. So it's super common, just like how Wednesdays tend to be FOMC days, and Wednesdays tend to be big move days on FOMC days as well. But a lot of people don't understand that those are all market fundamental dynamics that you have to get better understanding, and you'll be able to understand how that plays into the technical analysis as well. And then sometimes we hear people don't have enough time to learn new stuff. So go over some of the solutions for those. If you have poor risk management, you need to have a plan going into every trade. Stay consistent with the amount of money you're risking in each trade, so that you'll have a control result when you log these trades. So every time you go into a trade, you should have a plan on whether you're exiting 100% or you're going to exit at 50%. And if you're going to exit at 50%, 100%, then you should know what your stop loss is, whether it's 50% or 25%. You need to define that plan, and you need to execute it, and then you need to test it to see how well it works. So these are some super easy basics that you can do just to have proper risk management. The other thing is, is just staying consistent with the amount of money that you're going to risk in each trade. So this could be something as simple as, like, I'm going to risk $1,000 per every options trade, or I'm going to risk only $1,000 per every stock trade or penny stock trade. Very simple things. Just stay consistent so that when you're logging these trades, you'll have a control result, and it will show you how and why and where you're super successful at. So the second one was location environment. So as all businesses, they have startup costs. So just like your location environment, you need to spend money on a good trading setup, ideally 2 screens, and design a good environment to trade. If you don't have space in the house, try to make space, or try to make room available where it's quiet, without distraction. And you have to let your spouse or your roommate know that, hey, this and this time I'm going to be trading. I want to be able to focus. Can you give me that space? And ideally, you also want to have some notebook, have some stuff on screen, or like your trading rules and stuff and things like that can, assist you better in your trades, or a logbook too, just for like all these market environment situations. I think the other problem was stress emotions. So most people don't operate well under stress. So if your head isn't in the right place, take a break, come back another day, and the market will always be here. Just remember that the market is always going to be here. So if you're not in the right situation, if your head is not in the right space, don't take trades, because you're going to be emotionally, you're going to be like all over the place emotionally, and that's not going to help you in making another trading decision that is high pressure as well. Don't understand technical analysis. So technical analysis is only good as a trader doing it. That's why a lot of times when people see, like, they can see 5 different technical analysis on one ticker, on 5 different directions or whatever. So, and they're like, you know what, like one of these guys is right, but the other 2 or 3 is going to be wrong. So it's just all witchcraft, it doesn't work. But that's not true. A lot of them is just like, you need to understand the dynamics, or the person doing them needs to understand the dynamics of the market, and how to like properly use them. If you don't understand that, it's not going to work. There's so many things from RSI, there's so many things from volume, candlestick patterns, chart patterns, all these different stuff that some people might be missing while others aren't, and that can influence how that trade setup is going to go. So you have to learn how each indicator works and be mindful of catalysts. So catalysts are things that can be affected in the news. So one of the recent example of that was Tesla. So we had Tesla on Friday, right? It was over here trading at December 34th, December 31st, I mean. It was trading in this trend line. Naturally, this is a bearish trend line. It could be both. It's a breakout or a bearish. So it looks like it could potentially reject like the last 3 times. This time it was getting really weak. Some of the indicators were pointing to a rejection as the volume was selling off. But really, it didn't matter what the chart said here. It just mattered what the catalyst was going to say. So for those of you that were paying attention to Tesla, you would know that on Sunday, they were going to release their delivery numbers. And if they did really, 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 really well in the delivery numbers, the stock was going to kick off. If they did poorly on the delivery numbers, the stock was going to come back down to like $900 levels. So these were catalysts that could potentially affect the direction of this technical analysis. So we had an arrow going up and an arrow going down. It literally could go either way. There was no one direction. So here are some recommendations. If you guys are new, we're coming to the end of here. We're wrapping up to about 23 minutes. So if you guys are new, you guys haven't seen this post yet, I post this in our account challenge, in an ER challenge section. So some of the recommendations, especially for new traders that aren't in tune with their emotions and that doesn't know how to trade in the zone yet, doesn't have sort of ruined everything yet, I highly recommend you to read Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. He's an old trader, really old dude, but a lot of the rules and the stuff that he talks about in this book is still applies to the market very, very well, and applying to the mindset of the trader very well. So another thing you can do is like recommend, go to, so you can find that post here. So another thing I recommend you to do is go to Investopedia site and learn more about technical analysis. So there's this link over here, Investopedia trading / support and resistance. So they do a really good job of explaining the basics of support and resistance, and all these other indicators that you can use, and they give you a little bit of basic understanding of it. But of course, just like anything, you got to play around with it just to understand it even more. And then if you achieve those, then you got to develop, the next thing you got to do is you got to make your own strategies, and make your own rules of how you can apply yourself and how you're going to be successful at it. So if you're not a self-learner kind of person, another thing you can do is you can also pick up a mentoring package as well, by reaching out to some of our staff members, whether it's Young Bo or Bricken, and you tell them that you want to set up some mentoring sessions with some of us, whether it's me or Young Bo or any of our top trader and analysts. I think this is probably one of the only few trade rooms where we have a lot of mentors available at pretty reasonable prices per hour as well. And I think we have a package for 5 hours too. So these are, if you're serious about your business, think of it like consulting fee or startup fee. Think of it as just helping you get a nice jump start in it, having somebody mentor you and giving you the foundations, the basics. That's going to help your business out a lot. So if you're not willing to, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, if you're not serious enough, then you need to consider your decisions, right? So coming to the end here. So I want to thank you guys for being a member of our community, subscribing, and I hope this session was helpful. So if you guys have any, if you guys appreciate it or have any questions, please go to our survey. Let us know, what we can do better. And if you appreciate it, please give us a thumbs up or vote for us in a survey. Oh, let me show you this thing. I forgot to show you this thing that Tommy sent me. If you don't have enough motivations, right? So one of the other thing was a lot of people said they don't have enough time to learn new stuff. So if you think you don't have enough time to learn new stuff, hold up. Why isn't this link working? So if you don't have enough time to look at new stuff, just go watch this video. It says, have you ever heard a crackhead say, I have no money, I'm not going to smoke today? No, they always find a way. Are you gonna let a crackhead out hustle you today? So every time you think you don't have enough time, anytime you think you don't have enough motivation, just remember, somewhere, someplace, at some point, a crackhead is out hustling you today. Don't let a crackhead out hustle you, man. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you guys have a good night and start working toward your New Year resolutions, man. Let's get it. 2022. Thank you and have a good night.